Welcome to Coffee Talk. I'm Brad Barnett with the Kerrville Area Chamber of Commerce. Today we're going to be talking about July 4th and tourism in general here in Kerrville. And I have Julie with the Convention and Visitors Bureau and Meredith with the Arcadia Live. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you. Yeah, it's great to be here.
As we get close to July 4th, I'm always glad that I'm no longer in Midland and in charge of logistics for a July 4th celebration because I'm getting too old for that.
I'm very thankful to have other people to bring it to Kerrville and take it on for sure.
Just from the CVB side, what stuff have you all been working on really to promote Kerrville and then, well, specifically in July 4th?
In general, it's always the typical advertising elements, both social, digital, I said both, but also print. For 4th of July, we've got some different digital ads running. We have, they're like the newsletter type ads just to promote it. And of course, we'll push it socially as well.
Okay. So what kind of, generally for July 4th in Kerrville, are hotels sold out?
No, we're not sold out yet. Sometimes we sell out, sometimes we don't. It depends on the year. If it's a weekday, that shifts it a little. People have to get back to work, so they may not do the overnight stay. So we'll see. We hope to be sold out, though. Always like a sold out.
So we see a lot more day visitors then for something like a July 4th, or?
It's a mix. On a weekend, I would say you will have a pretty good mix of both. Weekday, you might see more day traffic for sure, just because people will come up for a day and go back to their home. It really just depends. If it lands near a camp opening or closing, you'll also have additional visitors staying because they're already going. They're going to be here dropping off or picking up kiddos, so then they can also take advantage of that event.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
We're hoping that this year we have a big headliner, Randy Rogers Band, and they obviously play last as the night. So we're hoping that kind of encourages people to stay the night because that's kind of the idea, right? Is to encourage more tourism and hotel money and anyway. So we're hoping that a big name like that will keep people in Kerrville and shopping in our shops and eating our food.
Well, Meredith, can you give us kind of a rundown of what's going to be going on July 4th, where it's happening, and then I know you guys have lots of sponsors that are making this possible.
We do, yeah. So July 4th this year, as she was saying, is on a Tuesday, and we have an awesome lineup. It's the Randy Rogers Band, Los Tex Maniacs, and Flaco Jimenez are coming. Allie Colleen is an upcoming country artist. She's like a little more like rock country. We're really excited about her. And then a duo out of Austin, Dawn and Hawks, are coming. And it's a husband and wife duo, and they're really amazing. We're super excited to have them. It's going to be, we're changing things up a little bit this year. Last year we had 11,000 people just in the park alone, 17,000 like in the surrounding area. So we saw a lot of congestion, which was it was a good problem to have, having so many people, but we've kind of reimagined how the structure of everything is. We'll have a food court this year with a tent and tables and chairs, and we're kind of keeping the music where the music is and the food on the other side to kind of help with the flow of everything. We added a lot more food vendors. I think last year we had 7 food vendors. This year we have 13, which is awesome. I'll say who they are. I'm going to pull out my phone here. Nobody judge.
You don't have the 13 memorized.
I know. I actually could probably do it, but I'm not going to do it.
You don't want to leave that one guy out.
Exactly. They'd be like, oh, give me back my, I don't know. $, whatever. So it's going to be Vecinos, the Mac and Wagon, Nobility is going to bring their trucks. They're like one of the only specifically drinks, which I think will be really good. Cloud9 acai bowls. There's going to be an ice cream truck called La Catrina. The Candied Cowboy, like they do a bunch of different candies. Barking Dog Snow Cones. Buzzy's Barbecue, of course. We can't do it without Buzzy. Grego's Roadside Pizza. So they were, Mr. Gaddy's is not, they don't have their Gaddy wagon anymore. So they sold their Gaddy wagon, and Greg is now Grego's Roadside Pizza.
Nice.
So he'll be joining us. The Munchie Machine. backyard burgers and spuds. They'll have potatoes and burgers, American dogs, and conchitas. So we
Wow.
tried to make sure to have like one of everything. There's no overlapping. There's no overlapping.
No, it's a good
whatsoever.
mix.
So it'll be nice. Last year, I know the lines were out the wazoo, especially when it was time to eat. Anyway, so I think this year we've got it
That's
kind of
awesome.
handled.
That's a good mix.
Yeah, and of course we'll have our beer tent on the other side of the park again to kind of keep the flow, the traffic, at best. And then let's see, what am I missing? Music. The doors will open. The gates will open at 2. Music will start at 3:15. And then we will go like 3:15, pretty much every hour and a half a new band will start, and then it'll end with fireworks, which are sponsored by Mini Mart, and that'll be the whole shebang.
Yes, Mini Mart celebrates their anniversary this year.
I
So
know,
it's exciting.
50 years. That's crazy. It's amazing.
Any recommendations that you guys have from the organizational side? Do people need to bring their own lawn chairs, blankets, pop-up tents? What's allowed, what's not allowed?
We are allowing pop-up tents. This year we're having the whole perimeter fenced. So because there's no vendors along the perimeter on the music side, we're allowing pop-up tents. It's first come, first serve, only in a single file around the like on the river bank, we'll say.
Okay.
So you can do that. I would get there early to do that if you want to claim your spot. And then, of course, if you want to bring chairs, we recommend bringing chairs so you're not standing the whole day. And yeah, I mean, blankets. You can bring your own water bottles. This year we're having refill stations, which I think
awesome.
is a
That's
nice
great.
bonus. Yeah, one on both sides of the park. And you just can't bring in your own alcohol. That's all we ask is, we have our TABC license pulled for this event, and that's precious cargo for us. So we'll have, obviously security that'll be check-in coolers and that kind of thing. But we'll have plenty of alcohol for you guys, so don't worry. It will be there.
So you
if you
can
need
bring
it.
coolers. They'll just be checked to confirm
Yeah,
no alcohol.
yeah,
if you come in.
exactly. Just no
Okay.
alcohol. Yeah, but we do have like the YMCA and the Boy Scouts will be selling water as well if you don't bring your water bottle. So, support local
Absolutely.
little kiddos. And it's gonna be a big event. Hopefully, we have a lot of visitors. We're also marketing separate from the CVB. We've got some billboards going up at La Cantera and North Star Mall, so we'll hopefully get some San Antonio folks, and obviously on the radio and social media and all that fun jazz. But it's an event that fortunately can help market itself because it is free, which is just insane. It's like the largest free music festival in Texas, so especially on the 4th of July. It's a kid-friendly, family-friendly. We're going to have a kid zone this year under the bridge, so it's shaded, which will be
Smart.
really nice, I think, for the families. A little solace from the sun. Versus last year and the years prior, the only shade was the beer tent. So this year we've got a few different options. Sponsors have a VIP tent, which is super nice if you're interested in sponsoring. It's a lot to put on, and we want to keep it free for the community. So
Absolutely.
we rely on our community leaders to kind of help us do that. And so far, speaking of sponsors, can I give a shout out to some of our sponsors? We have been super lucky to we've raised a decent amount. We're a little over halfway of our goal. So, but it's a little bit of a list, and these are the leading leaders of our community so far. Dr. Borchers is sponsoring. He's a dentist in town. Brinkman Commercial Properties. Chris Cheever is our beer tent sponsor. He is just an individual that came to Kerrville actually during the pandemic. He's from San Antonio and just kind of wanted to have a little bit more of a social life than was allowed at the time, and luckily fell in love with the Arcadia, fell in love with Kerrville, and he's an awesome supporter. Carlisle Flooring is a sponsor. Club Charles is a sponsor this year. DFEO CPA, Davidson Friedel CPA. Flying Diesel is a sponsor this year, and they actually will have a little vendor spot under the bridge. We're having a little area for some of our sponsors there. Francisco's is our sponsor. Shout out to Paco. Garrett Insurance, HCTC, HEB, Hewitt Engineering, Hill Country Septic, which is very nice. Into the Hills is sponsoring, and they are they're helping us out with all of the rooms for all of the talent, which is really nice. And so they are our official hotel sponsor this year. So if you are looking for a room, we highly recommend them as number one. Tell all your family and friends that's where they should go. Jam Broadcasting is amazing. They're helping us with marketing. James Avery, Ken Stobel Ford, the Kerr County Lead, also helping us with marketing, and they're going to be our official photographer for the event. So we've already gotten them special permissions with the police to be on the bridge, so that'll be cool. Kerrville Physical Therapy, Kerrville Title Company, McDonald Companies, McBride Oil Company, Methodist Healthcare, Mini Mart, as I said, Modisette and Sons, Shriner University, Texas Partners Bank, Tito's Vodka, and Toss It Dumpsters. Nice. And that's what we got so far. Yeah. We're super lucky to be in a community that is willing to help contribute and keep these fun events happening. So,
well, thanks to you and the Arcadia for putting this together. Again, knowing firsthand what it takes, and it's not just a couple of months. It's there's planning that goes on pretty much year round to get everything in place. So, thank you guys so much for doing that.
Of course, we love it.
So, before we take a quick break, anything on the tourism or Arcadia side, especially relating to July 4th, that you would recommend people keep in mind?
I mean, definitely, if you're wanting to get a room, go ahead and book it as early as you can. As she mentioned, Into the Hills is a sponsor, but when they sell out, there's plenty of other rooms you can book. We've got the short-term rental properties, too, so many in town. I don't know what else to tell people that they need to know. Just come to Kerrville and spend 4th of July on the river.
Yeah,
and it's
convince
free.
your family and friends to come, too.
Exactly. It's a great event. There's plenty of parking that's easy and accessible to the park. You've got the parking garage. You've got the mall parking lot across the street, and you've got safe ways to cross and get down in there. There's also the splash pad and all those other fun things you can do in the park in between, especially if you got the kids. So,
and there's the river. You can.
And there's the river. Exactly.
Absolutely.
I guess bring your sunscreen would be my recommendation, and a hat.
Yeah, 100%.
Hat, and then probably just hydrate. That was
there. You go. Yeah, hydrate for sure.
Bring your water bottle.
It's a great event for both our local community as well as people outside of Kerrville. So we definitely support it, and we're excited to have it every year.
Cool. Well, thank you guys for having us. We will be right back with Coffee Talk. Welcome back to Coffee Talk. I'm Brad Barnett with the Kerrville Area Chamber of Commerce, and we're back talking about July 4th and the Arcadia and tourism. So I think we were talking during the break that there was some stuff that we left off, something important about July 4th. So
yes, please don't bring your dogs. It is hot out there. It's for the safety of everyone around. So we just ask to leave the dogs at home. It gets loud with the fireworks. Right. So just please take that into consideration. It's very crowded. And if there's multiple dogs and they're fighting, just for the safety of everybody, please leave the dogs at home. They'll be happier in the air conditioning anyway.
It's true.
And y'all may not know the answer to this, but where there is a dog park in that vicinity,
yes,
you know if the city's going to have that dog park, will it be closed during the fireworks at least?
That, well, it closes at dusk anyway.
I was thinking that too.
So it'll be closed anyway. I'm sure if you walk, because you have to drive into, it's kind of closed off in the entrance, so you have to drive into. So that'll be closed. But if you walk to the dog park, I'm sure that'll be open during the day. Okay. Yeah. That's pretty far from the actual festival
grounds. It's just not into the gate of the festival.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, well, that'll be good.
You can still take Fido somewhere to the park.
Yeah.
Yes. So other than July 4th, obviously, hopefully you guys have a busy calendar as we
We
ramp
sure
up for the
do.
summer. So talk a little bit more about what's going on at the Arcadia, which to me is a
Absolutely.
gem in our community. When I
Thank
got
you.
here 2.5 years ago, it was just getting ready to reopen, and just walking into it, even under construction, like, this is going to be amazing. So
Yeah, I agree with that. Thank you. So we were kind of slow for live music in May, which is very typical because we are slammed with private events. So on top of all of these events we do for the community, the free events and the concert ticketed events, we have a ton of private events. I think we had 6 last week.
Wow.
Just in 1 week. So we're getting out of the private event season. It picks back up in the fall typically. But we have a lot of things coming up. Live music picking back up again in June. And like Meredith, I'm going to use my phone so I don't get dates wrong or people. June 2nd, we have Kyle Nix and the 38s. And so if y'all know Turnpike Troubadours, I'm sure you guys know that name. Kyle Nix is our fiddle player. So they're taking a break from touring, and he's going out on his own. He has a lot of the band members from Turnpike in his own band. So if you're a fan of Turnpike Troubadours or their fiddle player, come out to that show June 2nd. And opening for them, which we just booked and are excited to announce, is the Travis Pierce Band. They're a local band.
Yeah.
They were bringing in a band, but then that band could not make it anymore. So they said, bring someone local. So we love that when they ask for local
That is
people.
awesome.
The very next day, June 3rd, is Rodney Crowell returning. If y'all know Rodney, he's a legend. He sold out last year. We had to keep adding more seats and more seats. He's going to sell out this year. So if you guys are interested in him, buy your tickets now. And then June 30th, leading up to the 4th of July weekend, we have Bob Schneider. Typically, we have a large band that weekend, and we sell out with like 400 people. It gets crazy. People are coming into town for the 4th, so I know it's a little early. It's the Friday before, but I think people will already be here.
Sure.
Preparing for the Tuesday, 4th of July. And then going into July, we had Slade Cleaves, again, another legend. He does not perform typically anymore. We've been trying to get him in for so long because of COVID. He hasn't been performing. So I think this is one of his first concerts back. And he is selling out. Get your tickets. Another big one, Bree Bagwell on July 28th. She just won one of like Texas Female Artist of the Year. Something along those lines. So she's going to be amazing. Cannot wait for that one. And then to round out July, we have the Imagination Movers, which is a kids rock and roll band. So they were actually on the Disney Channel years and years ago. You can find them now on Disney Plus. And they are safe music for kids to listen to. That's like true rock and roll music.
Very cool.
It's a really interactive show, kind of think Blue Man Group, but for kids. They have confetti cannons. They have like those wacky waving inflatable guys. They shoot toilet paper into the crowd. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you have kiddos, grandkids, bring them out. I personally cannot wait to see them.
Yeah, no kidding.
See, if we were still during the pandemic and you're shooting toilet paper out, I mean, that's
People
that's
are
the cost
shaking
of
it and
admission,
running, yeah.
So,
It's true.
So that's going to be, it's like I said, we're gearing up again for some live music acts to come
That's
through.
fun.
Yeah, excited. And then fall, we kick back off again with our happy hour when the weather's a little bit cooler to kind of take a break in the summer there.
Right.
It's
so
hot on that deck.
Trivia night, or you?
We
take that on the
still do
summer, or-
trivia. Yeah, that goes year round. And it sells out every month.
I'll say if you have not been, definitely.
Yes,
It's a great
head
please
to
time,
go.
yeah.
trivia
It's
night,
the
so.
third Thursday of every month. It's a free community event. We ask you to reserve your table ahead of time because they basically sell out. We say sell out, but are all reserved. You can order Pint and Plow food right when you
Right.
reserve
That's
your.
what I was going to think. I think it's so cool.
Yeah,
You
reserve
can
your table.
Have your food there waiting for you for dinner.
Yeah.
you know,
So you just
so.
go in and pick 2 pizzas or 1 pizza and some appetizers, and it gets delivered that day. So you just show up, grab your food, and go. You can also bring in any food from our downtown neighbors. We're just trying to support downtown
Sure.
and get people, downtown walking around. We also have, which I miss, the second Tuesday of every month until September is Laugh Therapy. So it's our comedy series. It's 6 months long. So it's May. So the next one is June. So the second Saturday. And that guy is Billy D. Washington. He's actually returning.
Okay. I
He
saw
was
him last time.
Yeah, he was one of my favorite acts last time,
he
so
was
I asked
great.
him to come back this year. So I highly recommend a comedy night. Second
Absolutely.
Saturday.
Second Saturday. Okay.
Yes, sorry.
Again, like I mentioned earlier, it's just a gem in our community,
Thank
and for a
you.
community our size to have a
Yeah.
facility like that. The fact that y'all partner, where as a craft beer person, I love being able
Yes.
to get local craft beer. So it's just, especially somebody like Jeremy, who's very much
Sure.
committed to the community
Yes.
and that kind of the farm to market concept.
Yeah.
Farm to table. Sorry, not farm to market.
Yeah, and then we have Off Main Brewing, which is moving in as one of our neighbors. We serve one of their beers, Comanche Moon, which is delicious.
Okay.
And you'll like to hear this, Brad. We were kind of redoing what we serve at the bar, and so we're going to have a guest tap. And so previously we had the
neat.
4 Sixes. They're a ranch here in Texas from that show Yellowstone. So they have a beer, so we had the 4 Sixes, and now that's kicked, so we're going to put something else new and in there. And Grape Juice actually helps us select our beer and wine now, which is a great partner to have as well.
Love to see businesses working together
Absolutely.
in the downtown. So
Yeah, I think that, and as we grow, all of our neighbors, I feel like, are about to be open on Water Street,
I know.
which is very
So
exciting.
many coming soons right next door to you.
Yeah. So we're excited to work with all of our new neighbors.
yeah, so if you have not been downtown, definitely go downtown. If you have not, and I'll get a graphic from you guys, and we'll put that up on the screen
Cool.
of upcoming events and sponsorships and stuff like that. But
Perfect.
So, Julie, anything else on the radar as far as what CVB's working on as we get through the summer?
Oh gosh, yeah. We just launched our new branding in spring, so now it's all of the pieces that go along with that, getting it all to match and move forward, which we're turning around pretty quickly. So as far as us, that's one of the big projects that we're working on. And then in-house, we're also doing some renovations on the building. So hopefully in the fall, everyone can come check out our updated little space, bringing it up to the 2020s, I guess. So those are the biggest things that we're working on as far as ourselves. But tourism-wise, it stays busy. We're constantly helping people find hotel rooms, all of those things. Camp opening and closings will start fairly soon. So that's always a big one that typically sells out your weekends. You've got 4th of July, several events happening. August is usually a little quieter event-wise. School's starting, but that gives us all a chance to breathe a little. So a lot of stuff going on here. It's a constant, as you know, since you live here, right? Yeah.
And fall's really busy for events, right?
Yeah,
Like, I feel like
and we'll have the annular
rest and
eclipse
then-
in
yeah.
October, and that falls the same weekend as Chalk Festival and Kerrville River Fest. So definitely we're gearing up for that, and then
I was about to say, I hadn't brought up the E word
Yeah.
yet, the eclipse.
the other thing happening next year.
Yeah. But I feel like the small eclipse will give us a good idea,
Sure.
down
Yeah.
at Riverfest. Arcadia Live runs the beer tent for Riverfest, so we're pretty involved in
good.
that.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah, we like to be down there, and we love working with the city. Rosa and Rain, we're always talking to them about, how
Yeah.
to make Riverfest better, and we love serving the beer there, obviously.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
And I think our live music scene has really expanded in general over the past couple of years. We've had live music at several places, but now it's like when you look at our calendar, you on a Thursday through Saturday night, I don't know, you can probably find 6 or 7 easily. Some weekends even more. So that's probably one of the bigger things this summer too. And I think a visitor loves that experience. They like coming to a town and having that calm, relaxing settle in, and what does a local do? So I think that's been a great new addition, and Arcadia definitely offers that as well. So.
Yep. So, yeah, we have an amazing community. So if you're watching or listening to this and have not visited Kerrville, we encourage you.
Please
What
come
are you-
visit
What are you
us.
waiting for?
That's right.
Because, again, it's kind of like a little piece of heaven.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
so-
It's a relaxing experience when you're coming from the hustle and bustle, but you still have all of your big town amenities, right? You're not having to give up something except for maybe the traffic.
Yeah, and that's not a bad
Yeah.
thing. To
Yeah.
give up.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, before we wrap up, is there anything on your all's calendar or anything that we haven't touched on?
For the rest of the year, let's see. We have some really cool things in the works for the fall. Roger Klein and the Peacemakers, the Vandaliers, these are all bands that are about to come in. Shiny Ribs is returning. Beatlemania, which is a Beatle cover band,
Fun.
which is going to be really fun. So there's a ton of things that are about to come up. You guys have like the soft
fall.
announce, yeah,
Okay.
but they'll be in the works really, really soon. There's always something happening in Arcadia.
Yeah.
So just check it out.
I think for us, just keep in mind all the other things that happen throughout the summer. You know, you've got the Southwest Gorge show going on. Museum of Western Art always has exhibits. Hill Country Arts Foundation has Newsies coming out pretty soon. Playhouse 2000 has, I can't think of their play all of a sudden off the top of my head, but theirs is starting, I think, like June 6th. I didn't bring my phone, so I can't look any of this up. But you can go to our website and find it. So we have great theater and other things happening, and they're all about to kick off really soon. Then in the fall, you've got the triathlon and Chalk Fest, and then you have the Welcome Home Fest, and it all starts all over again. So there's definitely plenty to get out and do. Just go to look it up.
Now look it up, or if they reach out, I know I get the monthly or weekly list from the CVB of here's what's going on. So can people subscribe to that?
Absolutely, yeah. You can go to our website and subscribe to it. You can call us 830-792-3535, and just tell us that you'd like to receive that. So we have a monthly calendar that we send out that just lists all the events happening here in Kerrville for each month. We always print an annual calendar, but of course that gets out of date about as quick as you print it. Yeah. So it'll always have the big events that are happening, but there's new things constantly being added. And then our website, we update constantly, and that's KerrvilleTexasCVB.com. And it'll have everything from the live music, art shows, theater, the full range of things to go to.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Again, you can go to our website at the Chamber, KerrvilleChamber.biz, and link to it. We'll have some graphics on the screen with Arcadia's website and the CVB that if you want to follow and find out what's going on. But again, come enjoy Kerrville and enjoy our downtown, and we'll see you next time on Coffee Talk.